Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mary Grace, and I am the owner and CEO of Social Register, but I'm also the community founder of the Mom Directory. I am just so excited today. It's Friday. I have my Empower Women, because today I'm already getting teary eyed. Her and I, whenever we just get together, we care so much. But I'm just so excited to interview Kim Bassett. She is a gift to me and everyone she touches, and trusts me on that. And I'm so honored to have her a part of our group. But also, she will be hosting our virtual workshop next week on Tuesday, A Modern Mom in Business, Finding Balance. So please come on stage, Kim. I'd love to introduce you. Yay! This is Kim Bassett. She's my friend, my business bestie. She's helped me throughout just life in this past year, and going through business and going through personal stuff. She just has a huge passion to help moms and women in general. And so I'm just so delighted to introduce you to everybody. So today it's about you, Kim. So Kim actually has other shows where she interviews other people and she celebrates other people and what they're doing. And we get to celebrate her today. We want to get to know you today. Okay, Kim?
Oh, I'm so honored and so excited. And, someone just asked me recently, well, where's your sizzle reel, right? So one of the things that I do on my two talk shows is like you said, I celebrate other people. And, we were at a social registry event this week, and a beautiful woman that I met, she was like, Kim, she just held me by the hands and she goes, you need to learn to receive. And, I that's kind of been on my heart the last few days, right? Because as a mom of 6, right, I've been married 35 years. I've been a teacher. I've been a business owner. My whole life is about serving others, right? My 3 core values are love what you do, serve others, and provide value. That's what anything I do in this life, that is what I go by. And I have it on my banner on my Facebook group and all of that. And I just learning how to receive. So you coming on and saying, okay, let's do this for you. I was like, okay.
It's kind of weird, right? Because I'm the same way. It's like, what? Okay, what do I say? Because you've never been in this position. But
yeah,
I want everyone to know about you, and I want them to know you down to your core, because not a lot, we tell our story a lot, but not a lot of people know. When we met, Kim asked me, we were in a conversation, and she asked me, how can I support you? That was her first question. She didn't even tell me about her business. I think she told me a little bit, tiny bit. And she goes, oh, I love what you do. How can I support you? This is Kim, and this is how you'll meet her at all of our events.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to know your journey and your story, because I think I've shared this with you, that I resonate with people because I love hearing their story. I love hearing their journey. And that really just pulls me in. And I'm like, I want to hear more. And I want to listen to everything you're teaching and everything you're doing. So that's what we're going to do today, Kim. So
okay.
You did share that you have 6 kids. You've been married for 35 years, right?
Almost 35, yeah.
Almost 35 years. And share with us that dynamic. Like, I know that you also were working in corporate America when your children were younger and you were a teacher. Like, share that journey with us, and
so the
pros and cons.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So some of the journey started, as a young girl. My dad was a high school teacher. And so he was my first mentor. Recently, I've created a little book about mentors, and he's the first person in that book. But he taught me work ethic. He taught me about family. He taught me, all of these things. And yes, I have a mother and I have siblings, but he really was who I followed. And so, things happen to us in our lifetime. And so as we kind of go through that journey, it was amazing how much my life matched up to his, other than the 6 kids. There was 4 in ours, but the work ethic was a really thing that was instilled at a really young age. And he was also an entrepreneur. So from the age of like 2 years old, 5 years old, I was handing him, this is aging me a little bit, guys. But I would hand him TV tubes. He was an electronics teacher. So he would like fix people's radios, fix TVs and stuff like that. So at such a young age, I was helping him. I helped him build our home. I helped him, with a business. We had arcades when they first came out, and I would, do the books for him. I would hand things. So I was very much grew up with the entrepreneur business owner mindset. And so when, fast forward, when I was newly married, let me back up a little bit before that. I worked for Radio Shack. I don't know if anybody remembers those. I was a manager for 2 stores. And people would come in, they'd see us, this little tiny, I was actually tiny at the time. And they would look at me like, how do you know what a transistor is, or a resistor, or a capacitor? Fast forward to that, I started working in corporate America for a company called WordPerfect. And it was a software company that was one of the first ones about the same time of Microsoft and all of that. And I used to speak, I would, work with the company speaking, right? I would go back east and I would speak with the big auditoriums at Georgetown University. There were 500, 800 people. I was over large account support, all these different places, right? And then I decided to come, and I had 2 children at the time. They had a nanny, and my husband and I decided I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. So I went, and having that adjustment was really tough. So I understand moms who come from that aspect and then move back into a different role. Mm-hmm. And then at that time, I was like, okay, I was going crazy. I started my own businesses, and we were moving all over the country at the time because my husband's still in the software industry, moved all over the country, and having all these kids. And everyone was just like, my daughter was like, well, why do your parents have so many kids? Well, my mom wanted 4, my dad wanted 2, and we ended up with 6. But I don't know. I've loved that I have the 6 that I do. I have 4 boys, 2 girls, and they have made me, the woman that I've become.
Yeah.
And I have 4 grandchildren now, and they're 2 little boys and 2 girls. And recently, being a mom of 6 was not easy. I owned businesses at the same time. And at one point, I was running a event business that I created. I was working as a full-time substitute teacher in the school district and having all these kids, in a 12-year span. Mm-hmm. And I want to share that story because I was serving so much. I had we get our little wake-up calls in life, but I had a big wake-up call, and it was my health. And it, you have a doctor tell you, put your life in order or you're not going to be there for your kids. And my family is everything to me. And so, I had to take a look at a lot of things. I had to work on my health. I had to work on, but the one thing I really learned is to work on my mind. Mm-hmm. Personal development has literally become so much of who I am. And when I fast forward again, switching gears, when we purchased some businesses, we have a marketing communication business that I have with my brother. And for a short period of time, my husband was part of that as well. And when we took that on, I became a woman certified business here in Las Vegas. And I became really ingrained in this beautiful business community. People look at Las Vegas and they're like, oh, you live in Las Vegas, right? Yeah. Or, oh, you live in Las Vegas. You get all the different things. But what they don't know is the beautiful secret here is the business community.
Yes.
It's amazing. And so I started working with a lot of women, and I saw them struggle, and started, sharing my tools and sharing. I mean, I have friends here that tease me that I'm the tool lady, because that's what I talk about. And tools are so, like, Mary Grace,
Mm-hmm.
are so important. And I'll be honest, a lot of my life I lived in survival mode.
Yes. And I think a lot of us women, moms who are wives, and women who are moms and wives and everything else, and running businesses and being a friend and being a girlfriend, everything.
Mm-hmm.
We juggle too much, and then the self-care we put at the bottom. We always put ourselves at the bottom. It's
Yep.
just how it is. Unless you talk to someone like Kim, who gives you that wake-up call, because she gave that to me a year ago. No, a couple months ago. Oh my gosh. I feel like it was a long time ago, because I feel like I've made this shift, and
You
it's
have.
yeah.
Huge.
Yes. And I am telling you, women and men, whoever is listening, that you and your self-care and your mindset and personal development comes first. It has to come first, because if you're not well, if you can't think clearly, you can't go on about your day. You can't drive a car. I got to that point. I think it was in February or March.
Yeah, it was
Around that
around that time. I
Yeah.
was in Texas helping my son and daughter-in-law with the same thing.
Yes. And then we noticed, you and I both, that a lot of people were going through the same thing I was going through. Some of them a little bit worse, and some of them, getting there. And it was funny, one of the things you said to me, because before I got to that point, you said, I think I know what it is, but I'm going to let you tell me what you think it is. So what was happening is I was having these anxiety attacks. Like, it woke me up one day, and then my husband stayed home for a week. But by the second day, I was like, okay, I need help, because I made an appointment with the doctor, because I thought it was maybe hormonal or something going on. And then I think I text Kim, and no, it was the weirdest thing. I think you text me, hey, how are you doing? Like, because we text all the time. And I said, oh, I've been going through this, blah, 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 blah. And then you said, let's jump on a call real quick. And what did I tell you? I said, I can't talk right now. I don't want to talk about it, because when I talk about it, it comes back and it gets worse.
Yep.
And you're like, okay. And so you text me. But the next morning, I think you called me out of nowhere, and you said something was telling me that I needed to call you, to talk to you. And as soon as you spoke to me, it felt like, I just felt like, I can't even describe it. I just felt the anxiety wasn't gone, but I felt like a lot of it was just, and you gave me these tools and resources without getting so in depth with it. Obviously, it wasn't just one call, but
Wow.
she was coaching me through it. And I think when you get at that stage, you just think that, no, it's something else. It's not that. It's not this. And you try to pinpoint it on medical things. But I went to the doctor, and they said everything was fine with me. Literally, all my tests.
What we do, I think, as human beings and women, we want to look outside of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something outside of us that we can fix, because that's where our focus always is.
Yes.
And to turn inside, that means we have to have the mirror in front of us.
Yes.
And that's not a very comfortable place to be. And I've had that mirror multiple times, and it's hard.
It is. It is hard. I'm trying not to look at Kim, because I'm going to cry. I think also we push a lot of things down, because we don't think it's that, or we don't want to look at that, or we're trying to be stronger because we're trying to take care of our kids, and we're trying to take care of our business and all of this. And that's why I'm so passionate about Like if you go on my Instagram, that's all I preach. Like, take care of yourself, take a bubble bath, do this, do that, because I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I went through in that 2 weeks.
And I think that's kind of what happens. I was putting things together about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now. I was putting some things together, and I had a friend in our business community that we both know, and she and I were talking about this one day, and I just revealed to her what I was doing. And I said, this is going to be for my children, my grandchildren, my posterity, my legacy. And she says, do you mind if I look at it? And I said, no, go ahead. And she looked at it. She's like, why are you being so selfish? And she goes, everybody needs this.
Yep.
Right. And it was right before, we got shut down, and we were trying to, all work on our businesses and everything else like that. And I kind of tried to work on it this last year, and I created the company. I created all the stuff. I got I have mentors. I had all of this stuff going together. And then we have that fear, that limiting belief, right? Mm-hmm. That we're not good enough, that, it's just the same as what everybody else does. Mm-hmm. Right. And then I had that day and that vision, end of last year in December, to do the coffee with Kim. Mm-hmm. That was the hardest thing for me to do. And just like you, I love people so much. I love their stories. I want to learn and understand and gain from them. And I reached out to Samantha, who I knew had done stuff like this. She got me started, and I did it, and it was messy and, imperfect. But I have to tell you, the shows I do is what I love so, so much.
So can you share with everyone why is this so passionate? Like, why are you so passionate about these tools and resources and these things that we're going to be sharing in the virtual workshop? Were there things that maybe happened in your life, or people you've talked to that we don't have to name names, but that they were going through? Like, what sparked this for you?
For me, it was, I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. Life is so beautiful. Mm-hmm. And as much as I love my children, I look back and I'm like, I was sometimes just surviving, and if I had someone that held me by the hand, and I'm a little bit different. You're going to find with me is my philosophy isn't, I'm not going to give you have to do A, B, C, D, just in this order, or you can't get there, because we are all different. Yep. Our physical bodies are different. Our experiences are different. But if I can guide and lead someone to, like, the experience I had with you, right? Leading and guiding someone to find what tools work for them. Mm-hmm. What are the things, it's more of a guidance. And here's something that might possibly work. Try this, tweak it, right? Giving you that permission, to tweak it. I had to do a lot of experimenting, but I'm 12, 15, 30 years into this, right? I don't want a mom to have to do that. I don't want my daughter-in-laws and my people that I love in my life have to go. Yes, we're going to have to go through hard things. Yes, we have to grow. Mm-hmm. We have to do that. Yeah. But to have someone that can take you by the hand and say, hey, here's some tools, see what you can do with them, right? Sometimes it's a mind shift, right? Sometimes it's just like I think you were alluding earlier in the conversation that it was simple, and you were wanting to make it hard, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. How can it be this simple?
Yeah.
Right? It's not easy.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
It's not easy.
But it is simple. Because the tools and the resources you gave me, I was like, no. This is really going to help me. But I tried it. I did it. Just like when you said, okay, can you talk right now? I'm like, no, I don't want to talk. Just a talk helps. just to have somebody
Mm-hmm.
to share how you're feeling and being vulnerable, and having someone that is supportive and is not going to judge you at all, like that felt so good for me. And I think that's why a lot of it just felt like, whew, because that felt good already, right? Can you imagine a mom, a wife out there who just is so overwhelmed and they just want to tell somebody what's going on, and they don't have anyone around them to tell that to. So
Yeah.
they're harboring it all inside. And I know I did that. I did that a lot when I was younger because
We
I was a
do
teen
that. Oh my gosh. When we do that, so people are going to learn my 3 C's. I have lots of threes. 3 is my favorite number. But
It's a lucky number.
but one of my C's is community.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go down to my rabbit hole, and I would hide there when things got really, really hard. I would become up missing, right? People, I wouldn't want to talk to anybody. I want to be around anybody. And I would go down that hole. And we can't do that. Not these days. We can't. We need a community. We need our tribe, like you always say.
Yeah.
Right? Your vibe attracts your tribe is what Mary Grace always says. And it's true, right?
It's absolutely true. And I think the first day I had the anxiety attack that's what I did. I hid in my cave and I went with my safe person, which was my husband. And I was like, okay, no one touched me. No one talked to me. I don't want to tell anyone about this. And I think a lot of us do that. And you're an expert, and you've done the research and you've done the work and you've helped so many women. When we don't share, when we don't find a solution, what eventually happens? Like, what are some things that happen to you that people don't realize is a problem?
It affects your health. It affects your relationships. I had another wake up call. And this one's a hard one for me too, right? It impacted my marriage. It impacted some of my relationships with my children. Luckily, I was able to develop more tools, right? But I was searching out, I was searching for someone to help me with some really tough things in my life. And even reached out to some counselors and reached out to other people, and they didn't have the tools I needed. And so I kept having to create them on my own.
Yeah. And that's what I love about you, because you don't want anyone to go through what you went through. And so you found the tools and the resources, and you want to share that with everyone who needs it. And I feel like every single person needs it, even though they think that they're fine or they feel balanced. We all need these tools and resources.
Yeah. And I'm going to talk a little bit about different philosophies with balance, because when you first approached me with this topic, I expressed to you what my philosophy was on that. And I did some digging and some research, and I did some more digging inside of myself. And so I'm really excited about Tuesday, and I really want to encourage people to come. If you think this is going to be a rah motivation, type thing, that's not me. Mm-hmm. It's called a workshop for a reason. I asked in the description, I said, bring pen, bring paper, bring an open heart and an open mind. Because you're going to need those tools to start with, and I will bring some more tools for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that some people, because I was like this, I'm using myself as an example of things I went through in my late 20s. I mean, that wasn't long ago, but that was kind of like where I had a lot of the struggles. And I think the woman that I used to work for was much older, amazing, beautiful woman.
She is.
Asked me when I would come into work, is there anything I can help you with? Are you okay? And I would like, yeah, I'm fine. I think because she sensed it, that there was something off. And I always said, no, I'm fine. She says, what can I help you with? What can I, do? And I think she wasn't trying to say you're stressed, you have a lot going on, but sort of saying that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm fine. And I feel like a lot of us do that. And I think if you do feel that way, let's say you do think you're fine, I would love for you to just check out the workshop on Tuesday, because sometimes when you just check out a book, you check out a workshop that's just calling to you and you attend, then you realize that, oh, yes, there are some things that I need to look at, right?
Yep.
Sometimes it's not right here just yet.
No.
But other people do see it in you. And for me, it was always women who were just so empowering and loving and supporting, and obviously much wiser than I am. Because they were older and they went through the journey, and they would see it in me without pointing at me, if that makes sense, or calling me out on it. And we don't always realize it. So if this is calling to you, the title, Kim and her journey and everything that she wants to share, even if you feel like you have balance or you feel like you're fine, check out the workshop.
Yeah, I learned a long time ago from one of my mentors that said, you need to attend and show up as much as you can, because even if you think you're not going to get something out of it, if you come with an open mind and come with an open heart, and there's been things I've read, books I've read, or things I've attended, and I'm like, yeah, that's not really my thing. But if you just hang in there, and you go with the intention of finding something, you do.
Yes.
And but I do want to, before we end, there's been some beautiful people who have been commenting, and I want to show their comments. This is a Facebook user, and just Mary Grace and I use StreamYard a lot. If you, I would love to have known who, I appreciate you saying thank you for sharing. Go to the top of StreamYard. If you click on it, and the little link there, and put your name in, then we can see who it is. Gloria, I'm so excited. I've just been starting to get to know her. Thank you so much, Gloria. And then Fatima.
Yay.
This is someone I have loved and have worked with for several years now. And she is just a beautiful light and soul as well. And that's what I love about StreamYard, and I love about doing this live, is because we can get that interaction and we can have people ask questions. So
yeah, I love it. Well, we're going to put all the information in the description. We're going to put the link where you can register. We are doing it in a private Zoom room, right? Like a private, we're not streaming it. We're doing it through Zoom. So it is a private, safe place.
You need to register, right?
Yes, you must register to get that link, because it is a safe place. We want to keep it safe. Video and audio will be on, but it's up to you if you want your video on. You don't have to have your video on.
Well, that's one thing I am going to say.
I'm over here saying no.
She can say that, but during the thing, I am going to ask you to have it on. And there's a reason why.
Yeah.
This is a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to be all made up and pretty and fancy. But for me, it allows me to see you and sense, and that energy that happens, right? When you show up and you're present. Hey, if you check out some of my Coffee with Kims, the one I did last week from this beautiful Yniguez from Malaysia, at the end, I just said, bring your boys on.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, I love it.
The kids are there. It is what it is. If the kids are noisy, just mute it, unless you have a question. But if they're hanging around and running around, you're talking to the mom of 6 and my grandkids.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we all get it. I agree with you. So scratch whatever I said.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No, but it's very true, Kim, because I feel like when I attend masterminds, because I do attend a lot of masterminds, even me as an attendee, I'm able to connect with the people attending. And a lot of those people have became my good friends because
Yep.
we're in it together. We all share this common journey, whether someone has been doing it for 20 years or someone's only been doing it for a month, but we get to connect better when the video is on.
Yeah.
So I do
Don't see
agree.
me as someone that's got it all together and perfect. You know, I don't, like Mary Grace said, I don't have the degree. I don't have this, but I have a lot of life experience, a lot of hard knocks, a lot of imperfection. But I have to say, I love really big.
Yeah.
And I do want to share and I do want to give.
Yeah. But you, I think you're going to do some things leading up to Tuesday, right?
Yep. I'm going to be doing some more lives.
Yeah. So let them know about that, where they can catch you.
Yes. So I do lives out of, I have two groups. I have Coffee with Kim live. I have also on YouTube. You'll see Coffee with Kim live. You'll see CLX, which is it's my business. I really have not launched yet because we're tweaking the website right now. I also have and I also have a website, coffeewithkim.com, but I have on CLX. I have on Facebook. I load everything to Instagram as well. Mm-hmm. My personal Kimberly Stevens Bassett is my Facebook. So I have all of that. The mom directory, I'm going to be in there this weekend because I really want, we don't always, because of the algorithms and stuff, we don't always see everything in time. And I want to have enough of it out there so everybody has a chance to sign up to be able to attend on Tuesday, because I have some really amazing gifts. And Tuesday's just the beginning.
Yes.
It's just the beginning.
It is. It is. And it's a free workshop. I don't know if we mentioned that. There's no cost to it.
Yep.
Complimentary.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you so much for allowing me to share your story, share your journey, because I think that's important. Like you said at the beginning of this interview, that we're used to celebrating others and sharing their stories, and we never really get to share our story. So I'm just so honored to be able to share your story, and people will get to know her even more, because there's more to it. And you guys are in for a treat if you join us for the workshop, because Kim is just a beautiful, amazing, loving person. She is someone you want in your tribe. And I am not just saying that. I tell everyone that because she has made a huge impact in my life. And my husband knows it. My son and my husband know who Kim was before they ever met him. And then when they actually met her, how do I introduce you? I'm like, this is the Kim I always talk about. And they're like, oh, hi. Finally.
I know. It was so great. Last month I got to meet your husband, and this week I got to meet your son, and it was just such a treat. And I also want to continue to celebrate you too, Mary Grace. Everyone, Mary Grace is, like she said, is the owner of Social Register. It's an amazing organization. I promote it everywhere that I go. Mary Grace, in her own right, is a gift. I did have the opportunity to also interview her. You can go see her on one of our Coffee with Kims and her story. And also you can see that on YouTube, and also Fontes Insider. So she was on both of those. So, but yeah, thank you so much for this. This was kind of a really fun experience. Let me see, there's another one. Oh, Fatima, I love you.
Kim is amazing. And everyone you meet that knows Kim says just that.
Well, thank you.
So you guys are in for a treat. So join us on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It is at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it is through a private Zoom room. So you do have to register to receive the link. And again,
Oh, I was just going to say, I didn't do a banner. I thought I was going to do a banner for the link, but the link will be below.
We will add the link. Kim and I just decided we're gonna pop on live, and we just did it, and I think it was the best way.
It is very, very, very heartfelt, and thank you again, Mary Grace. I love you.
I love you too. Well, I will see you on Tuesday. Actually, no, you're going to pop on tomorrow, and you guys will see her in the Mom Directory and all of her other channels. But again, register for the virtual workshop because I will be there as well. And I'm inviting other women that I know my vibe has attracted. We're all, kind of in our tribe here.
Yes.
A lot of amazing women. So please join us on Tuesday at 11 a.m.
All right. Have a great day.